Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Blonde Blitz, Week 11. Where has the time gone? I'm your co-host, Deb Whitkus, and with me, as always, the Barbie of the Jersey Shore, Miss Nikki Starts.
Hi, Deb. How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm good. I'm in my Bengals gear tonight.
We will definitely talk about that. But first of all, what happened with that game, Nick? I know, like your boyfriend here, Joe Burrow. What in the world?
I know. Everyone's saying it's my fault that they lost.
Why is it your fault? I just want
to jump ship because I jumped ship and I started wearing Bengals gear and talking about it. So it was my fault.
Who told you that?
Everybody.
First of all, it is a little weird to see you in a Bengals jersey.
Right. I do have a sports bra on under it. I mean, we can get to that later because apparently I'm supposed to do something to get reinstated into Giants Nation.
Okay, I can't wait to hear about that. First of all, everyone say hi to Olive. She has decided to join the show. So you see just a black tail.
But I gotta say, I think black and orange is easier to rock than blue and red.
I love Nikki's going further and further away from being a Giants fan as they lose, and she wants to blow up the entire team.
I really do. I really, truly do.
Well, we have a little bit different of a show today, Nikki. We decided to insert a little bit more blondness into the show. So we're kind of breaking up the categories a little bit. Next week, we'll be starting to name the Barbie Best, and that's a competition between the two of us. Whoever has the most correct in naming the picks and the scores. So a little friendly Barbie competition between us.
I'm excited for that. We should have did that in the beginning of the year, but
I know.
But our best ideas come to us.
Right. And it's halfway through the season. We've gotten used to being on air and being together. And, just like the teams are switching some things up, we're switching some things up too.
Some of us are jumping ship and going to other teams. So
I'm not doing that, but that I'm definitely not.
But is that not okay? Like, I will always bleed blue.
Right.
Always.
Yes.
However, everyone, to be fair, I jumped on this bandwagon 3 years ago. I just wasn't that vocal about it.
Mm-hmm.
But now I am. And is it just such a bad thing to have a second favorite team?
It's not. And I have a second favorite too. Just kind of depending on what friends I have in the league and who's doing what and what teams are winning. So it depends on the day, to be honest. Sometimes I like the Commanders, which is crazy because it's a rival team of, NFC East and the Eagles. Sometimes I like the Chargers because I cover them. Sometimes I live in LA, so I like the Rams sometimes too. All of my friends are Raiders fans. So it just really depends. I mean, and I just like football. So, whoever is winning, I tend to, I don't know if I'll ever like Dallas, to be honest, but.
No, I will never. So I wore this, I posted it, came early. I do have another team's outfit that I will post. But now I'm getting people DMing me asking to wear like their team's jersey and send them a picture. Right. I have not heard from the Cowboys fans or the Eagles fans.
Yeah, I don't know if you will, because I think that's like a sin, I feel like.
I'm going straight to hell for that one.
Yeah. I don't know if you could actually do that. And I have different jerseys too that I wear if I'm, representing a team. Like I have a Chargers jersey because I cover them. I have a couple different just because, it's the life of a sports reporter, guys. We have to be a little Switzerland at times, and you're seeing it now.
Just a little bit. Listen, I'm fed up with the Giants, all right? It's miserable. Yeah. Well, it's been like this for 10 years.
And I didn't want to bring up the game against Dallas, to be honest, because I didn't want to torture you yet again. But, rough game.
Oh my God. It's so bad. And I feel really bad for Tommy DeVito.
Yeah.
Poor kid. He didn't deserve that. And to go up against that Dallas defense.
Yeah, that's right.
Something is really wrong with the Giants organization.
Yeah. Yeah, no, absolutely. Well, getting back to some more positive stuff, some other categories we'll be talking about is we'll be start naming our favorite player of the week, our Ken. And no, Nikki, you can't have Joe Burrow every week.
Every week I want Joe Burrow. Every week. Please.
We'll also be having the Elwood Bend and Snap play of the week, where we talk about.
So you bend and snap. See?
Thank you, Dan. That's our producer there. We love that clip. And obviously we'll be talking about our favorite play of the previous week. And then Nikki, you want to tell them about the last one? This is my favorite.
What is our last one? The Brassy Blonde, right?
Yep. The play of the week.
The worst play of the week.
Right, that's true.
Because if you are blonde, you know that nobody likes a brassy blonde. And you got to go get yourself some toner and get that brass out of your hair. So brassy blonde is no good. And that'll be our final category. And this is the stuff that's like as we're spitballing and we're texting, and this is the kind of stuff that we think about.
Absolutely. Because it's great to be blonde. On that note, Nikki, who is your Ken this week?
My Ken is not Joe Burrow. And by the way, you guys can stop sending me cougar pictures. He is about to be like 27, I think, in a couple weeks.
Okay.
So
yeah, and you aren't of cougar age. I think cougar starts at like 50. So you're not even close to that. So what are these people smoking?
Yeah, I'm still in my 30s.
Yeah. No, you're nowhere near. Maybe you might be a puma, but not a cougar.
Ooh, a puma. All right. Listen, I'll be a puma for Joe Burrow.
There we go.
There's
a little bit of an age difference there, but
But, hey, that's okay. You know what though? Like men do it, right? Like they'll go out with some like 21-year-old and they're like 60.
Oh yeah, for sure. First of all, my parents were 17 years apart, so if my parents can do it, I can do it. So my dad was older, my mom was younger. So rule number one for Deb: always go younger.
Always go younger. Yes, absolutely. So my Ken of the week is Nick Bosa. How about it? He just had like the best game of the season last week, so I had to give it to him.
Awesome. And I have Damar Hamlin. He returned to football and recorded his first tackle since his on-field, cardiac arrest last season. Yeah, I mean, it was great to see it. Great to see him back, and he did a great job. You obviously last season, with Buffalo Bengals, he tackled receiver T. Higgins, stood up, then collapsed, and medical basically saved his life on the field there. And it was just heartbreaking to watch, and everyone was kind of glued to their seats. But I actually have a personal connection, not a personal connection, but I was actually covering the Rose Bowl game when it happened. So I didn't know it was happening. Like there was kind of some talkings in the press box, but no one kind of knew what was going on. And we found out in the presser at the end of the game. And James Franklin, the head coach of Penn State, they just won the Rose Bowl. And there we are talking about Damar Hamlin. And because he originally drafted Damar from high school into college, because Damar's from Pittsburgh, and obviously Penn State has some connections there. So I was one of probably 75 media people that heard James Franklin talk about this in a presser. And I was like, oh my God, I'm like, as a newer sports reporter, I was like, I cannot believe I'm getting this information first. You know what I mean? So it was both like a sweet moment, but I wish it wasn't so, it wasn't such a big, someone's life was on the line. So it was very bittersweet, I guess you should say. So it was just very interesting.
It's one of those moments where it's like, exactly where you were when that happened.
Absolutely.
I remember we had just gotten off, I had just gotten off my Monday podcast, and I remember going out into my living room and like making my dinner, and I had like looked up and the ambulance was on the field, and I thought it was just an injury, but then when I saw the ambulance, I was like, oh my God, wait, what's going on here? Yeah. And I mean, I just couldn't believe it. It was really, I don't remember ever seeing anything like that.
Either do I. And I mean, how long have we been watching football for? And I just kept on refreshing my phone, looking to make sure he was okay, and if there's any more information about the situation. So he is back. He is playing. Just got his first tackle. I mean, yay!
No, really.
I mean, that's godlike at this point. Like,
Yeah.
I hurt my back. I'm hurt for 8 months. And this man's playing football when he had cardiac arrest on the field. Like,
I know. I've had a knee injury for like 20 years from cheerleading. Like, I mean, please. Like,
yeah, it's crazy. Next up, we've got the Elwoods Bend and Snap Play of the Week.
So you bend and snap.
All right, Nikki, who do you have for this one?
I love that scene so
It's
much.
So fun.
The best scene. So I'm going to keep it here in San Francisco. I thought when Nick Bosa and Chase Young, they split the sack on Trevor Lawrence. Like, I just thought that was like a marquee moment. Sucked for Trevor Lawrence, but I thought it was a great play to watch, especially for Chase Young.
Got it. And we both said we were super excited to see Chase Young playing with the 49ers, and here we are.
Yeah, no, I was excited to see it, and I thought that was one of the standout plays of the week.
Absolutely. Well, and I don't know if it's necessarily one. It's honestly 6 plays of the week I picked, so I might be cheating a little bit here, but I have the place kickers. How insane was the last couple of games, the last 6 games in the Texans, Browns, Lions, Seahawks, Cardinals, and Broncos game? They all won the game with a walk-off win thanks to field goals. Like, yeah. As regulation time expired, like, it was nail biters the entire time. Like, yeah, how crazy. Like, the Texans won 30-27 over Cincinnati. 38-yard field goal from Matt Amendola. It was his Houston debut. He hadn't even played with the team yet. The Browns defeated the Ravens 33-31. 41-yard last-second field goal by Dustin Hopkins. Riley Patterson, 41-yard field goal, helping the Lions come back to win against the Chargers. I thought the Chargers had it, to be honest. I was rooting for the Chargers there. The Seahawks, Jason Myers had a 43-yard kick as time expired. They won 29-26 over the Commanders. It was his 5th kick of the game. I'm keeping to go here because there was just so many. So many. Matt Prater helped the Cardinals win. Kyle Murray was back. He returned. They won with a 23-yard winning field goal, defeating the Falcons 25-23. And then finally, and I'll talk about this later, or in a little bit, Will Lutz got a do-over and kicked a 36-yard field goal as time expired for the Denver Broncos, and they beat the Bills 22, which leads me to my Brassy Blonde play of the week. So I'll just go into that one.
Go for it.
The Buffalo Bills had 12 men on the field.
Oh my God, I know.
Like, how did you were professional football players? How do you let that happen? Who counted wrong? Like, they practiced that play. Like, I understand the time was running out, but
I know.
You gotta know who's on the field and who's not. Like, that's part of your job.
Yes, it's I always just have that like that moment when it's always like 12 minutes. It's like, what are you doing? Like, what is going on here? I don't get it. I mean, I was watching that game and I'm like, no way. We're down to like 4 seconds and here comes Denver. And I was just like, wow, okay. Kick the field goal, only one. And Buffalo, we'll get into it. I know we're talking about that one in a little bit, but I mean, they are not the same team.
No, they are not the same team. And I have some suspicions that I know what's wrong, but not quite. Like, I have some questions, and we'll talk about that in our picks for sure.
Yeah.
But first, let's move on to week 11. Nikki, what's your starts and sits?
My starts and sits. Oh, well, first I'll give you my Brassy play real quick.
I'm sorry.
Because you'll appreciate this one.
Go ahead.
I have the Chargers defense because
somebody got fired.
Yes, I'm firing them this week. No, they gave up 533 yards of offense Sunday. Like, what are we doing? And I thought they were gonna like change course here, and
because it looked like they were about to, and it looked like they were gonna win that game. And I even texted my friend who works for the Chargers. I was like, "You guys might have this one," and
yeah. So they're another team where I'm always like, they should be so much better than what they actually put out there.
Justin Herbert has done well. I mean, Keenan Allen just broke record. I think he got 10,000, rushing yards or something last week. Quentin Johnston got his first touchdown, which I'm super excited for him.
Yeah.
And you know how much of a fan I am of him since the draft. And I feel like the offense is clicking. Just they need their defense, and the defense. Yeah, it's a team sport. You got to have both sides.
And coaching.
And coaching. Who's getting fired, Nikki? Who are you firing this week?
Who are you firing this week, Deb?
I mean, I fire him every week. Brandon Staley's got to go.
Okay, every week Deb fires him. So I don't know. The Chargers are going to have to fire him now. They have to.
We should do a montage of me saying firing him.
Yes, we could do that. My team can edit that. Fire them, fire them, fire them. We'll mix it in with how much I talk about Joe Burrow and all the things that like I would do to him. Well, hey, you know what? I woke up when we got off on Wednesday and I clipped it up. I woke up to everybody. Like, I had all these pictures that Joe Burrow sent to me, which I thought was hysterical and was much appreciated. It was a great way to wake up on Thursday morning.
What were they? Like, were they some good pictures? Tell me about them.
Yeah, they were like, with his like muscles and everything, and just like looking all like how he looks like just he's got swag, man. I don't know.
There's something about that.
I like a guy with some swag.
Absolutely. And sometimes, and I said this before, I can't tell if it's cockiness or it's swag or like what it is.
A little bit of both. He is a little cocky, but like, I don't mind that personality, right? I mean, people say that about me, so maybe it's like just attracting. Like,
you have met your match, Nikki.
Met my match. I am a Puma, and I will own it. So if you guys want to send me more pictures, so I can wake up tomorrow morning before my work event, and I'll just have these like great pictures of Joe Burrow, that's cool.
Or if anybody has Joe Burrow's phone number, I mean,
it's like this bitch is thirsty, just or even better, if I could get credentials for Cincinnati, that would be even better. I'll trade in my Giants credentials.
It might be the easiest at this point.
I know, right?
Let's move on to week 11. Sorry, I prematurely did that. I've been waiting to hear your starts and sits for the week. What do you think?
All right. So my starts are, as you guys know, I give you 3 and 3. Hear me out on this one on Saquon Barkley. I know. It's
okay. Wait a minute. She's wearing a Bengals jersey. I'm talking about Saquon Barkley. Let's just point that out.
Yes. This is how objective we are. I mean, we're an all-around the league show. Mark says Nikki is a mess. I am a mess. I'm a hot and bothered. I'm a mess. No, but so my point on Saquon is he still gets a decent amount of volume, especially with Tommy DeVito back there who can't throw the ball, and we know why he's not throwing the ball. It was disappointing last week. It was the Cowboys, but he did have 13 carries, 3 targets. So I think we're going to see a lot more volume this week against the Commanders. So that's my reasoning for starting Saquon. Deb, you'll love this one. I mean, what rookie, right? CJ Stroud. I mean, you guys have got to start him. I say it every week. Props to Deb, who called this, back in the spring when she was covering Combine. She's nailed it all year on him. That's like I don't know. Growing pains. What are you talking about? 2 games. He's had 826 passing yards, 7 TDs combined. So
people are talking about MVP for him right now. I mean, to take the Texans from where they were to where they are this season, and they just beat the Bengals. Like literally, I actually had the Bengals for my Survivor League. Like I'm now knocked out of my Survivor League because I went against my CJ Stroud, and I know not to do that ever again.
Not do that, Deb. Come on.
I
People.
mean, we said that in preseason. So, yep.
I know. Well, I love this matchup because they've got the Arizona Cardinals, and that defense is giving up the 8th most fantasy points to quarterbacks. So I know people get a little weird about starting rookies. I don't consider this kid really like a rookie. Go ahead and start him. And I know a lot of us are streaming defenses. I do that a lot too. I think you kind of have to. But hey, how about some props to the Cleveland defense, right? Been a pretty solid, they're getting there. They're becoming a pretty solid unit. They're scoring 13 or more points in their past 3 games.
Aren't they the second best in the NFL right now?
Yeah, and I think they have a pretty high ceiling against the Steelers because they stuck it to the Ravens last week. So which we'll get into. So those are my starts. My sits for the week. Trevor Lawrence.
That's interesting.
Pains me to say it. You might not, be able to, but just not having the greatest fantasy season. He's only reached 18 fantasy points one time this season. Usually scores less than 15 fantasy points. He completes just 55% of his passes against man coverage. And unfortunately, the Titans run man at an above average rate. So if we can avoid Trevor Lawrence, I would sit him. I'd also sit Evan Ingram. I know he's usually doing really well. However, this is a tough matchup against the Titans. They're giving up the 4th fewest fantasy points to tight ends. And also sit Adam Thielen. They're going up against the Cowboys. And the Cowboys have allowed the 2nd fewest yards to receivers. Dallas has the 2nd lowest completion percentage to slot receivers, and Thielen runs 64% of his routes from the slot. So matchup-wise, this does not look good.
Okay. All right, guys, you heard it there. Go ahead and make your changes on your fantasy because Nikki is almost always, if not always, right. So
I'm always right.
Shall we talk about our Week 11 picks? I still wish I looked that good.
I know. I want to look like that.
I have been working out. I'm back. I'm back working out every day. I'm determined to look like that picture.
I would just like to, I would look like AI, what AI does to me, yes.
Well, as you know, Nikki, I've had some back issues over the past year, so they've kind of deterred me from working out, but I'm determined for Super Bowl, I'm going to drop like 2 sizes. That's my goal. I'm saying it out loud so it actually happens.
Speak it into existence and manifest it. Well, hey, you know what? It's good to move your body when you can and you're recovering and starting to feel better. So that's great. I'm a big advocate for moving your body and, exercising when you can. And sometimes I try to work out every day. Don't always have time, but sometimes I can only get 20 minutes in or a half hour. And it helps. It helps. It's my favorite part of the day because I don't have to think. I don't have to make a decision. I just have to do. And that's it.
Yep. Yeah. Well, hopefully all these teams do this week. We've got the Bengals who are 5-4 against the Ravens who are 7-3. Thursday night football. Nikki, what are you thinking?
All the pressure is on the Bengals, I think. Oh my God. See?
What is he doing there? No.
What is he doing? He's looking at me. No, I'm just kidding. I wish. No. Lamar Jackson is hey, call me Joe. Lamar Jackson is 7-1 straight up against the Bengals as a starter. They do have 2 home losses though, Baltimore, and they love coughing it up in the last minute of games. I thought this was a last season problem. Turns out this is still happening in 2023. Thing is, Bengals really do need this win if they want to stay in the hunt. This division is just, we know they're going to beat each other up all year long, and that's what they're doing. But you guys, come on. I'm rolling with Cincinnati here. I got it 24-21 Bengals.
All right. I feel a little differently, but we'll see. So both teams lost last week. Bengals to the Bills, Ravens to the Browns. They were both obviously insane games. The Ravens led the entire game until the last second with that field goal there. But I feel like the Ravens are hot despite that loss. I mean, like I said, like you just said, Lamar Jackson 7-1 as a starter against the Bengals. And honestly, my psychic might be right onto something, saying that they're going to be they're going to win the Super Bowl. I would have never thought it before she said it, and she said it about a month ago, and I was like, but there might just be something there, and we're starting to see that kind of come to fruition now. The Bengals, I feel like they aren't clicking. Something is off. Can't quite put my finger on it, but the Bengals will also be likely without their starting defensive ends and wide receiver T. Higgins. The Ravens are favored by 3.5 on this one. I feel like it is going to be a really close game. I'm saying Ravens 31, Bengals 27.
Oh, all right. We will see. I like when Deb and I differ. Doesn't usually happen, but
yeah,
sometimes
usually we think a lot alike. But I think I mean, either way, it's going to be a great game. And
oh yeah, it'll be a great game. Finally, a good Thursday night game. Thursday night is that night where it's like,
yeah. Last week it was Chicago.
Oh God, yeah.
It was Panthers Chicago. Chicago beat the Panthers, and it was funny because there was everybody was saying something about Al Michaels, and they're like, "Oh, Al Michaels is just gonna like take his headset off and walk away at some point." I was like, "Yeah," but they did something great. They brought in Jason Kelsey to the booth, and I was like, "Yes, this is awesome," because Jason can light up a room and obviously talk football, and I was like, maybe he's gonna. Because there's a possibility he's going to retire next season. Yeah. We'll see. And I would love to see him in the booth, like as a analyst, kind of like Greg Olsen did. I think Jason would be amazing at doing something like that. So when I saw him in the booth with Al Michaels, I was like, yes, this is great.
This feels right. This is right. Yeah. When's Tom Brady getting in the booth?
He's apparently supposed to be there next season. I think he wanted to take a year off. And then that was the whole thing with Greg Olsen too, because Greg's like, and I don't know Greg Olsen, but he was just from reading, he was concerned because he's like, I've done all this work. I covered Super Bowl. Like Greg is so good. And then like Tom Brady's just going to come in and like take his job.
Yeah.
Anyway, our next game, Steelers, who are 6-3, and the Browns, who are also 6-3. Nikki, what are your thoughts on this one?
This is why I love the AFC North, right?
Yep.
It's like every game is good. Even if two of the teams are having a down year, it's still a really good game. Last week Browns put up 16 unanswered points on the Ravens. Mm-hmm. And they're getting a chance to split with the Steelers here. Steelers have won 4 of their last 5 games in one score fashion. They're quietly winning because nobody's talking about the Steelers, which is what happens, and they fly under the radar, and then everybody goes, "Oh, how'd they make the playoffs?" Because it's like you can't count out Mike Tomlin and the Steelers ever. Cleveland, you can't. Cleveland is 4-1 straight up at home. I'm gonna go Cleveland. I'm gonna go 22-17.
Wow. Okay. We're differing a lot today.
Pretty good.
Yay. And it's funny you say about the Steelers going a little bit under the radar here, because I do cover the Steelers a little bit. I have a show with Frank Nicotero on PSF, and it's called The Steagles Show. So Frank is a huge Steelers fan. I'm a huge Eagles fan. We put those together. We do a podcast right before the games on Sunday, so you should check that out. So to me, the Steelers, I've been talking about them every week. So for me, they haven't been under the radar, but I can see how you think that and how people think that. But anyway, my thoughts on the game. Deshaun Watson will be out. He had a season-ending injury. He's got a broken bone in his throwing shoulder, so he's out. And can I just say, I'm going to go on a bit of a tangent here. What a waste of a contract.
Oh, God, yeah.
Like, $230 million over 5 years, every penny guaranteed, and he's only played in 12 games over 2 seasons. Like, He's on contract till like 2026, and he's got $138 million left in his deal, and he's out. Like
highway robbery. Like, I don't know. I need like some contract like that. I don't know.
I know. Who can give me a contract like that? Like, he basically has made $92 million playing 12 games in 2 years, and now he's out with a season-ending injury. And PJ Walker is in, who I love. PJ. I watched him XFL, watched him in Temple. You know, my family went to Temple, so I'm a huge Temple fan. So I think PJ's good. You know what I mean? So I'm excited that he's getting this chance. But like, what a waste of an NFL contract with Deshaun Watson.
Not only a waste, but I mean, really, Deb, you could say like that's kind of what held everybody back, right? So he got like in terms of signing their quarterbacks to deals, like so he gets this massive contract. And then you can't tell me that didn't have an effect on, because who was up next? Lamar Jackson. And then how that all played out, right? It was like nobody wanted to pull that trigger. Right, exactly.
And then Justin Herbert. Or Justin Herbert came before Joe. But like, it's wild. To be honest, I hope the Steelers beat the Browns just for that dumb contract.
It's for your stupid ass contract. We hope you guys just lose out the rest of the season.
So the Browns were favored by 4. Now with the quarterback change, they're now favored 1.5. And like you said earlier, the defense is statistically one of the best in the NFL. You know, they create constant pressure on quarterbacks. Hopefully Pickett can overcome that. I think he can. The Steelers are on a roll. You know, they continue to beat teams in the fourth quarter despite being outgamed. But something's clicking. You know, Mike Tomlin, you know, he just finds ways to win. So
he does.
Yeah, but I just don't think that the Browns will win without Watson. So I'm going Steelers 23, Browns 20 on this one.
Correction. Quarterback Darian Thompson-Robinson is starting.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Ooh, I didn't. Okay.
I think this is a real-time update.
Okay, this has to be because I literally just looked at it about 2 hours ago.
Yes, it's a real-time update.
Wow. Thank you, producer Dan.
Yes, this is why we have a production team. No, nobody's in our ear telling us what to say, but they do let us know when things change in real time. So I also that name does not roll off the tongue very nicely.
What? Yeah, I don't even know who that is.
Darian Thompson-Robinson. Should change my pick. Now, you know what? Screw it. I'm just going to stick with Cleveland, see what happens. All right, next up, we've got the Jets, who are 4-5, and the Bills, who are 5-5. What are your thoughts on this one? Oh, man. It's like payback, right? Is this going to be the payback game for the week 1 loss? You know, the Jets, they still can't get it together on offense, which sucks because their defense is really, really good. I think the Bills are still pissed that they lost to them in week 1. I think the Bills are fuming mad about how Monday night's game went.
They just fired their OC, Ken Dorsey.
Yes.
And good. Yes. Like, he needed to be fired.
Good, because
people again.
Yes. Yeah. I bet you if we go back the past 11 weeks, you probably fired him at some point. So it just took the Bills a little long to hear you, but I'm sure Deb did fire him. Josh Allen has 9 touchdowns, 10 interceptions, and 10 career starts against the Jets. Jets are 4-2 against the spread as underdogs.
What happened? The Jets. Yeah. Yeah.
You know, for me, for Buffalo, I've said this for 2 years now. I just don't understand why they can't get the run game going. They rely way too much on Josh Allen, and they don't have to. They don't have to. They're a very you talk about head-scratching teams. They're one of them to me.
Mm-hmm. No, the wheels are literally falling off for the Bills.
And they shouldn't. Yeah. They shouldn't.
Like, they're in danger of missing the playoffs for the first time since 2018. And I had them picked for Super Bowl. Like,
this year?
For the last 3 years, to be honest. Oh, yeah. We obviously suck at predicting Super Bowls.
Well, oh my God. We'll get your psychic friend picked the Ravens. Well, who should she pick for the NFC?
No, she picked the Ravens for the entire thing.
The Ravens are going to win it.
So,
Okay.
Yeah.
All
And
right.
last year, I have like 3 sidekicks. Last year, my psychic called me right before Super Bowl, and she goes, "Do you want to hear what I have to say?" And I was like, "No, I don't." And she basically told me that the Eagles were going to lose, and I already had that feeling. But they did.
Oh,
Yeah, it sucked.
yeah.
It was like,
I
"Don't
remember
tell
that
me."
panel. I remember that Super Bowl panel well.
Yep.
Yeah. That tested every professional bone I had in my body to host an NFC panel of Eagles fans who
You
all
did a
told
great
me
job
they were not concerned about Andy Reid and Pat
at
Mahomes.
all. I looked at you like you were nuts. I was like, I can tell this girl knows football, but she's not right on this one. You're right. It was a really good game though, and the Eagles did have a shot. I mean, it was just that last call that really just ruined it for them. But there's a rematch.
There's a rematch coming. So yes, let me give you guys my picks. We can move on. I will go. I'm going to take Buffalo. I have it 22-17.
Okay. 22-17. We're close on that one. So, like I said, they just fired OC Ken Dorsey. Good. We'll see what Joe Brady can do. God, how many Josh Allen has just thrown so many picks, like so many turnovers. Like, who is he? Yeah, it's just crazy. Like I said, they're might miss the playoffs, which is just mind-boggling. Yeah, I feel like the Jets need to take some lessons from the Bills in firing people too.
So the Giants need to take some lessons too. Listen, all of New York, just let's go.
Yeah, let's go. The Jets offense struggled through another loss on Sunday night. There were no touchdowns in the losses to the LA Chargers and the Raiders. Yeah, I mean, changes need to be made. I'm not quite sure if it's Zach Wilson or I don't think the OC needs to be fired, but something needs to change. Hopefully they do it before Sunday. If not, they're losing to the Bills. So so the Bills are favored by 7. Normally I would say that's a lot, but I don't know. I can't. I don't trust anything coming out of my mouth this NFL season. But
I have no credibility whatsoever. Everybody.
Anyway, actually, I'm second in one of my pick'ems. But
there you go.
The Bills. I say Bills 24, Jets 15.
Okay. And I don't think you meant to do this, but there is a Joe Burrow connection here.
Oh,
Brady was Burrow's offensive coordinator at LSU.
Oh, look at you. All right.
See, it all comes full circle.
It all comes full circle.
All comes back to me and Joe Burrow.
As it should.
As it should.
As it should. I mean, there is a possibility the Jets score could be a little, I don't know. If the Jets plays up to their potential, the Bills won't score as much, obviously. But I don't know. I'm still going Bills 24, Jets 15.
Yeah, I mean, I think the Jets, I love their defense. I think they've got a fantastic defense. It's this offense, they just can't get it together. Yeah. I mean, to be fair, that should be Aaron Rodgers. So
I mean, and I said I actually have them in my notes. I was like, what if it was Rodgers? Like Rodgers versus Allen, I'm literally salivating. Like, I don't like Rodgers as a person, but he's a great quarterback, and so is Josh Allen when he's playing good. And that would have been such a great game, and I feel like I'm deprived.
I know. We all are. Like, just in general, where are the Jets right now if Aaron Rodgers didn't get hurt?
Yeah, absolutely. And hopefully rumors are he's coming back. Who knows how fast he'll get back. I mean, are the Jets even going to make the playoffs so he can come back this season?
Like, yeah, I mean, at this point, I don't think so. So I think this is Miami's division to lose.
I agree. Well, let's go on to the storybook highly anticipated game of the week. Eagles, who are 8-1 against the Chiefs, 7-2 on Monday Night Football, the Super Bowl rematch.
Oh, you're excited for this one, or are you nervous?
I mean, a little bit of both. Well, and first of all, here's to be a little funny. There's a lot of storylines going on in this game right now. Like, let's recap them. So first of all, it's this Super Bowl rematch. Okay, we've got the Kelseys playing each other. Obviously Jason and Travis. They're also releasing a Christmas song together that was dropped yesterday. I heard it. It's amazing. So that's going on.
Is Taylor Swift, does she have it, like, does she sing on it? Should a cameo?
Well, and that's the next point. Will Taylor Swift be there watching the game? We all know Travis plays much better when she is there in person. On top of it, her dad is a huge Eagles fan. Huge. They're from the Jersey Shore. They're from Stone Harbor, or she spent her summers in Stone Harbor, New Jersey, where I spend my summers. So I root Eagles, he roots Eagles, and his daughter is dating a Chiefs fan or a Chiefs player.
Right.
Right. Also, another storyline, kind of crazy. Mahomes apparently wears the same underwear to every game and has since he started in the NFL.
The same underwear?
Yes. Did you not read this?
No, I didn't see this.
So apparently every game he wears the same pair of underwear. He cleans them, but people are like, do you have any like things that you do, traditions that you do, superstitions? And he goes, well, I wear the same pair of underwear every game. And apparently it was a present from Brittany, so he wears them. But I was like, okay.
He also eats ketchup sandwiches. So let's talk about not trusting things that come out of people's mouths. He's one of them.
That's true. Well, and it's funny too, because literally there's all these things, people are talking storylines about all this stuff. And it's like, when did we lose football in football?
When Taylor Swift showed up.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh. I love her. I do. Yeah. I mean,
I think it's bringing a lot of attention to the NFL, and I love it. And she's got some great catchy songs. But as I was prepping today, I was like, people are caring more about like the storylines around this game than the actual game.
Right. Well, I feel like that's very like casual fan-esque-ness type thing. Like, I just, you know what? Unpopular opinion. I'll just digress for 1 minute. The Super Bowl's great, but I really think it's for like the casual fan. I actually don't really love the Super Bowl. I don't think we need a halftime show. I don't care about the commercials. I don't care that there's like all this fanfare going on for like 12 hours. I just want to play the game and watch a good football game. Like, I actually don't care about the rest of it, but that's when the casual fans are brought in. Everybody's having their parties, probably the bunch of food that I wouldn't touch. So don't invite me to your Super Bowl party. But it's, I don't know. Just give me a really good playoff game versus all of this like hoopla and fanfare of the Super Bowl.
Our producer's like, oh my God, we agree on something. Yeah, no, I agree. First of all, I love Super Bowl week. It's the best week of the year because on media, I get to be there. I get to interview all the players, and the buzz is so amazing. And all the different events and a lot of charity stuff, and the different parties and the people you run into. And Media Row is absolutely amazing. It's so much fun to be a part of that. So Super Bowl is my favorite week. I look forward to it every year. Especially this year is going to be in Vegas. Like, oh my God, I'm going to die. But and hopefully we'll be doing a live stream from there. We'll see. But
I hope so.
Yeah, fingers crossed on that one. But yeah, as far as the game, I just want to watch football too, and we'll see. We'll see if this game on Monday is it's obviously the Super Bowl rematch. Both teams are coming off of a bye, but with big wins in their most recent games. Eagles knocked off for Dallas. Chiefs went to Germany, knocked off the Dolphins. Arrowhead's going to be electric. But I'm worried about this week 11. I mean, and I said this since preseason. Week 11 to 15 is the roughest patch for the Eagles. And we're playing the Super Bowl rematch. KC, you can never count out Andy Reid. You can never count out Mahomes. But it's a great time for the Eagles to be playing KC because everything is clicking. Eagles have an amazing offense, have an amazing defense. I actually think the Eagles' offense is more complete than Kansas City's offense. I might disagree later, but right now that's what I think. And I think that the Eagles, there's a little revenge here going to happen too. It's going to be a nail biter. I am going Eagles 24, KC 23.
Oh,
And if
okay.
anybody wants to steal Patrick Mahomes' underwear, please do.
Yeah, I mean,
Okay.
I'm glad you said that he cleaned it because I don't know. There are
Cleaned it,
people
yeah.
who, yeah, I'm just not into that whole like you gotta like sit in the same spot that you sat in the week you won, and you gotta like eat the same food, and you gotta wear that one hoodie that worked, and like, well, it doesn't work in New York, it doesn't work in Giants land. So I'm gonna try it for Cincinnati. Let's see. We'll see what happens. Craig says he could use a little advice. He has Hurts, Prescott, and Purdy. I guess on his fantasy team.
Okay.
This will kind of segue since we are going to talk about the Eagles right now. I would say no on Hurts because he does and has struggled with interceptions on the road. However, you've got Dak Prescott, who's got a Carolina team. So I'm going to say go ahead and roll with Dak Prescott on that one. But speaking of Hurts, yeah, he's got a passer rating of 87.8. Chiefs are 4-1 against the spread when they are favored by 6 points or less. I actually think this game comes down to the last like defensive blow. Some crazy play is going to happen. There's going to be something weird and wonky that happens in this game. But I think it's going to go in Kansas City's favor. I have it 30-22.
It's going to be like the Super Bowl.
Yes.
Basically, you just said what happened last season.
Yes.
Yeah, that was just a weird penalty. And who calls that penalty at the Super Bowl? Like, really? It was fair. Just come on, guys. Like, with the ref.
Good old Jake Bradbury coming through for us one last time. I was sweating it out. I could not have the Eagles win the Super Bowl again. No, because then you guys will be, you know, remember what happened when the last time. And you know what? I got shit for this last time, but you did have a fan who ate horse poop. And if you guys Googled it, you would see it. So people thought I was lying, but like this guy actually ate horse poop.
Yeah, no, it was nuts. It was super fun to be there too. And I think I've told you this before, but like literally being in that stadium, I was one of 75,000 people in that stadium just who can say they won or they saw the Eagles win their first Super Bowl. So that's super, super special to me. But to watch that last play of that game when Brady like threw, you know, the Hail Mary to Gronk and it hit the end zone, but then you saw it drop. And, you know, like you just said, something wonky always happens. And always, and since day one, since I've been an Eagles fan, and I literally remember seeing the ball hit the ground, right? Like, and I'm looking for flags. I'm looking for something, like something has to go wrong here. There's no way we could win this game. And I looked to my best friend who was sitting next to me, and I go, "Did we just win?" And I was in shock.
Oh my God.
And as I said that, the green and white confetti just started going on the field, and everyone's screaming and everyone's crying, and apparently people were eating horse poop as well.
They were absolutely eating horse poop. Yes.
Climbing light poles.
Yeah, I want to know. Wait, Deb, were you climbing on traffic poles? And
I was not. I was actually having cocktails with Brandon Graham's dad. So I'm gonna be a little drop. Yeah, a little mic drop there. So
a little bit for you guys.
So yeah, so you're picking KC, I'm picking Eagles. We will see who wins.
Deb's always name dropping. It's very casual. And like you should see the group text. She'll just be like, "Oh, I know so and so." And I'm like, "Oh my God." Like
we have to get some of them on the show too. So
yes, we do.
In the off season when they're not as busy.
Right. Oh yeah. I think that's usually off season's great to get really good interviews on. And we know you guys, you know what I love about interviews? I personally like to hear other people's stories, but it's timeless, right? You can go back and watch those interviews anytime you want, you know? When we're talking about week to week picks, it's a little hard.
Well, and speaking of interviews too, just so everybody out there knows, I'm going to be covering the Eagles KC game with the NFL alumni SoCal. They're having a watch party in Hermosa Beach. So I'm going to be there. I will be interviewing on the red carpet. So everybody look for that on my social.
Yay! Aw, I'm so proud to be your co-host.
Oh, you're so sweet. Love you too.
We can love each other and be rivals on Sunday. But Deb, you got to watch last week, like stress-free though.
I did.
You just kind of got to chill out, right?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I did some cleaning in between watching. Well, I mean, I was a little stressed about the Chargers because that game is important. But they're all important. But yeah, no, I definitely got to like chill out for a little bit. And then I'm also going to be covering the next, and not this Monday night, but then I'm pretty much every Sunday till the end of the season. I'll be doing live streams for the Eagles through PSF, so Pro Sports Fans. I have a co-host, so we're going to be like live streaming, kind of like a gameplay. So it'll be fun, kind of like a Manning cast, I guess. So
that would be fun.
To watch me do that too. So
a
lot of stuff coming up.
Game? You guys do the whole game?
Yeah, we do the whole game. Yep,
Wow.
It's going on live, and we talk about the plays, and we talk about how we're feeling. We're going to have some definitely. I'm going to be at a couple of different Eagles bars, and my co-host is going to be in Atlanta. And there's a fan club there called the Atlanta Delphia. He's going to be interviewing fans as the game happens. I'll be interviewing people here at an Eagles bar in California or in LA, and interviewing fans then too. So it should be fun. You guys should tune in. PSF.
Deb, this is why Deb is the coolest. She really is. Props to you guys. I tried that whole call the whole game thing, go live podcast. It's hard. I don't have the attention span for it.
It's hard too, and like the plays and like what's happening, and
yeah, it is hard.
It's definitely too. So, Nikki, I heard you got a tweet. Your birdie told me.
Did you buy those pants on sale? Because they're 100% off at my place. My lips are like Skittles and you're about to taste the rainbow. Are you a parking ticket? Because you have fine written all over you.
That's pretty much what just happened to you, by the way.
Yeah, pretty much. I've got so I obviously posted a picture of me in a Bengals jersey last night and put up this poll on IG and Twitter. Do you guys like it? And much to everybody's dismay, most people liked it. However, there are some Giants fans who are upset with me, and I've just been screenshotting the reaction. So I posted one last night where it was like, what is this shit? You must have lost a bet. There's no coming back from this. We don't want you back. However, if you send nudes, we will reinstate you into Giants Nation.
Do people actually think you're going to do that?
I think so, because then somebody else said that if I sent them nudes, I would be reinstated. So,
and who are these people to be saying you're reinstated?
I know. Well, yeah, exactly. Who are you? I'm the Queen of New York. Do you know who I am? I know I got a Bengals jersey on right now, but please, I'm the Queen of New York. You're not getting recognized sitting on the Belt Parkway in traffic. I am. And that's my mic drop moment. But yeah, so if I send nudes to various people, apparently I could be reinstated into Giants Nation. You know what? I don't want to be reinstated because they're a fucking mess. How about that?
Well, there you go. Mic drop.
Mic drop. So you guys are not getting any nudes. So stop asking and stop asking me for feet pictures. It's getting very weird, everybody.
So strange.
Just getting weird. Deb, did you get any weird messages this week or just me again?
Just you. Sorry.
Just me. Okay, got it. Yeah, no.
I don't know whether or not I'm happy. I mean, I guess I'm happy about that, but I feel a little left out. But that's okay.
Okay. Do you want weird messages asking for?
No, I don't. But maybe you could forward me one just so I feel included.
Okay. Yeah, no problem. I got it. I'll send people your way. Yeah, no problem.
Too funny.
I bet if you left Eagles Nation for the Chargers, you'd probably get some. Yeah, absolutely. You would. Well, guys, we appreciate you hanging out with us on another Wednesday. Know some of you were asking about Thanksgiving football, but guess what? That's for next week. We're not going to jump into that. We will do some fun food segments because it is Thanksgiving week and I host, much to everybody's dismay. I was shocked. I did put a poll up to see how many people would come to my house for Thanksgiving, given all of my food takes. And like 80% of you said, yeah. Our producer, Dan, said absolutely not.
Why? Dan, why?
Yeah, why? I don't know. Why?
Is he kidding on or no?
Yeah, why would you not come to my house?
Oh, I would be ending up helping your sister cook the whole time. So that's why. That's why.
Oh, okay. I do.
And you made me look like an asshole today, so thanks a lot.
I did? What I did now?
By posting that clip made me
What
look
clip?
so bad. The clip. I mean,
What
not
clip?
wanting to come. The clip of you it's saying you people want to come over for Thanksgiving, and I wrote absolutely not.
You said absolutely not, because you guys all think I just serve smoothies and salads, and like my mom and sister, they do help.
No, you actually feed me when I'm over, so it's good.
I order.
So we had a photo shoot that we did, and Nikki, you had an entire spread of amazing food. So I would be 500% in for a Thanksgiving dinner, because I saw what you did for like a little brunch.
But who cooked? Me. I cooked.
Yes, but I got all the stuff. I put it out. We
True,
there's something to be said about hosting and making sure you have enough stuff for people.
You A+ with that.
Well, we'll get into it next week, because I want to know like what Deb is, what Thanksgiving side is she firing? What pie is she firing? Like, what is she eating here? What games are we looking forward to on Thanksgiving? Don't forget, there will be Thanksgiving games, so we'll talk some fantasy. Also, Blonde Blitz brought to you by UnderDog. So use code BLONDE and play with some house money. Thank you guys so much. We appreciate you. We will see you for week 12. Have a good night and go Bengals.
Go Birds.
Bye.
Bye.